What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Inside Jays podcast. I'm your host, Tyler. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Blue Jays winning yet again. This time, starting out a new series against the Cleveland Guardians, where they managed to pick up a win and essentially win their it increases their win streak to 3 games. So let's go ahead and break it down. Um, the Toronto Blue Jays are back to 500 on Friday evening. The Jays started a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians, defeating them 5-3 to move to 16-16 this season. Moreover, the win expands their win streak to 3 games. The Guardians opened the scoring in the top of the second as Carlos Santana hit a solo home run to give the Guardians a 1-0 lead. In the bottom of the third, the Blue Jays had an answer as Alejandro Kirk hit a bases-loaded single to score Anthony Santander and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., giving the Jays a 2-1 lead. In the top of the fourth, Canadian catcher Bo Naylor hit his 5th home run of the season to tie the game up at 2. The Jays regained the lead as George Springer hit a solo home run, his 3rd of the season. Again, the Guardians tied the game thanks to Santana's RBI single in the top of the 6th, knocking Chris Bassett out of the game and tying it at 3. The big moment of the game came in the bottom of the 8th, though, as Nathan Lucas was batting with runners on second and third with 2 outs. He shot a line drive to the outfield, giving the Jays a 5-3 lead. Let's look at some of the takeaways. The Blue Jays have been getting some clutch hitting in the past 3 games. On Wednesday, Anthony Santander hit a massive 3-run shot to tie the game before Alejandro Kirk drove in the game-winning run in the bottom of the 10th. On Thursday, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a 3-run home run of his own, giving the Blue Jays a 4-2 lead. Tonight, Lucas hits Lucas hit a 2 RBI single to give the Blue Jays the win. This is what they need to do. Kirk also had a clutch hit in this game, driving in 2 runs in the bottom of the third, giving the Jays a 2-1 lead. In the bottom of the 8th, he hit a single to move George Springer to third. Overall, he went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. It's really good to see Alejandro Kirk playing well, considering last season I know he struggled and whatnot. George Springer also had a great game. Speaking of, having bounce backs, I fully believe George Springer has managed to turn around. I know he had a rough season last year, and people were talking about, whether or not they should maybe trade Springer or, that contract that he signed with the Jays, it was starting to age a little poorly. So far this season, from what I've seen, I fully believe Springer has managed to bounce back, and he's playing really well so far. George Springer going 1-for-1 by hitting a home run, walking twice, and reaching on catcher's interference. The reemergence of Springer, as I just mentioned, this year has been totally unexpected and very much needed. Andres Jimenez had a good game against his former team, hitting 2 singles and 4 at-bats to raise his batting average to 177. Guerrero Jr. also had a 2-hit game to bring his batting average to 275. As for pitching, it wasn't a bad start for Chris Bassett, as he pitched 5 1/3 innings with 3 earned runs allowed and 4 strikeouts. His season ERA has risen to 2.95. Chad Green pitched a clean inning. Brendan Little allowed a hit in his inning and 2/3, and Jeff Hoffman picked up his 7th save of the season. The Jays have a chance to win their second consecutive series on Saturday, as Kevin Gausman is set to take the mound at 3:07 p.m. Eastern time. Speaking of Jeff Hoffman, if you guys didn't catch it, I just put out a video talking about Jeff Hoffman and how much of a stud and a steal he's been. So go ahead and check that out. That was the game 1 between the Guardians and the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays were able to win by his final score of 5-3. I was not able to catch this game, as I mentioned in a previous video that I was unfortunately working. But in the next video, we're going to be covering Game 2 of the Blue Jays and Guardians, and I'll definitely do my best to catch that game. But yeah, let's look at something else. Sorry, just waiting for it to load. Let's look at this one. Sure. Oh, we're going to look at another article. This one, once again, on Blue Jays Nation, written by Thomas Hall, and it talks about Blue Jays pitching prospects Landon Marudis, Brennan Barea nearing returns to game action. Injuries ravaged the Toronto Blue Jays prospect system in 2024, mainly on the pitching front, with several key arms undergoing season-ending surgeries that have sidelined them through the start of the season. But a pair of hurlers from that injury-riddled group may soon be back in action. According to MLB.com's Keegan Matheson, pitching prospects Landon Marudis and Brandon Barea will likely be ready to begin rehab assignments in the coming weeks after making positive strides in their respective rehab programs following spring training. Neither pitcher has thrown a single pitch in a live game setting since April 2024. Marudis, a fourth-round selection by the Blue Jays organization in 2023, only made 2 starts in his first season of pro ball before being shut down due to right elbow soreness. He was able to avoid Tommy John surgery, though, instead opting for an internal brace procedure to repair his UCL. This has typically resulted in a quicker recovery time of the 2 elbow procedures, which will likely allow the 20-year-old righty to return to game action in just over 12 months. Toronto's number 8 prospect per MLB pipeline racked up 12 strikeouts over 10.2 innings in 3 appearances, 2 starts, before landing on the shelf last season, allowing just one run on 3 hits and 4 walks. Barea, whose recovery timeline is a bit behind Marudis's, as Matheson reports, also used an internal brace as part of his hybrid Tommy John surgery last April. That procedure ended his second professional campaign after just an inning and a third, where he surrendered a pair of runs on 2 hits and a walk while striking out 1 in his lone start of 2024. The 21-year-old lefty, the organization's number 15 prospect and first-round selection in 2022, has spent the past several months further improving his strength and conditioning, which many hope will allow him to regain the upper 90s fastball velocity he displayed prior to going under the knife last spring. It's been a string of injury-plagued seasons for Barea, who is limited to just 20.1 innings during his transition into pro ball in 2023 and hasn't compiled more than 21.2 career innings thus far, meaning the Blue Jays will surely apply extra caution moving forward as they attempt to keep him on the field. We got a quote here. This is about as good physically as he's looked since we've had him. Blue Jays Director of Player Development, Joe Sclafani, told MLB.com's Sam Dykstra in March. Obviously, he's got bigger and then tapered it back. Physically, he's in a really good spot. Mentally, he's in a really good spot. He's trending in a really good direction. We're excited. While this franchise's pitching pipeline was gutted by injuries a season ago, it's undoubtedly much better positioned during the early stages of the 2025 season, especially at the lower levels. Recent draftees Trey Yasevich and Kyle Steven have been taking young hitters to school at Single A and should soon be on their way to High A Vancouver, where they'll join a starting staff that already includes Kendry Rojas, Warren Watts-Brown, and Jackson Wentworth. Once Marudis and Barea are ready, they'll likely meet up with the Canadians later this season, too, further adding to the pool of talent that'll reside at High A this season, which also includes a position player group headlined by top prospect Arjun Nimala. So, yeah, there's some good news for the Blue Jays pitching prospects, Landon Marudis and Brandon Barea nearing returns to action. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this win for the Jays against the Guardians. Game 1 of a what is a 3-game series? Yeah, three game series between the Jays and the Guardians. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the Inside Jays podcast and would like to stay up to date on all your Toronto Blue Jays content, be sure to not only like, but also smash that subscribe button and then hit that little bell so you're notified every single time we upload a new video. You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at Inside Jays Pod. But that's going to do it for me in this episode. As always, let's go Jays, and I'll see you guys in the next video.